So here we'd be discussing on the following. Just one second. Right. So we would be looking at discussing on extracting the Tally schema to Excel and SQL Server. Right. And basically Turbodata is a bridge between Tally and various databases. And it extracts the raw Tally data schema and then codes the Tally logic into relational databases. So from here you can code it to other technologies like Python, ASP.NET. So a sample client problem is the client needs a Tally data on MS Excel. It needs the Tally business logic to be incorporated in the same also. And he needs a secure access across a large number of users, so he wants the row level security to be configured. And he wants a real-time connectivity with Excel for transactions. And desires an automated data input later on for into Tally using APIs. So a client scenario is the client wants the solution to be plug and play. The data extraction needs to be, off-peak hours. Matlab, he does not want his Tally to be disturbed. There should be no load on Tally during the refresh of the reports and graphical presentation addition of the reports. Matlab, sir, a typical scenario is that I want to merge the sales order and the bill receivable reports based on the party ledger names. Right, so sales ledger dono ka common is, I want to basically merge these two reports, and how do I do it? So Tally basically has got two movements. One is an inventory movement and one is a ledger movement. And both these are actually linked by functions. तो ये जो functions होते हैं, these are functions which जिसके लिए Tally जो है, Tally ने एक बहुत बड़ा वो बना रखा है library. And these are very complex, these are very very tough, right? तो ये जो है सारी की सारी आपको functions मिल जाएंगे. तो basically हम ये functions को what we have done is we have coded these functions onto the tool by using SQL, correct?
Yes,
If
sir.
I am looking at the value proposition, I am looking to eliminate the usage of custom functions in Tally. Understanding the complexity. Tally is very, very complex software. So we are trying to eliminate the complexity of understanding Tally. Consolidation of data between Excel and Tally ERP data and any connector and API, which is used to extract. So data from Tally. Third party के लिए. We are looking to reduce the licensing cost because जो कि accounts based system, that means for each end user I need to pay a license fee separately. We're looking to reduce that. The data extraction times basically we're reducing it through two ways, by using JSON instead of ODBC, and then also by using a data warehouse. The aggregates in the Tally development language code and SQL code, so that is what we're looking at. Business logic will be coded using SQL in the product. Maintenance times, the tool should be plug and play. BI tool costs, basically the data is going to be compressed very much, so your RAM requirement for BI tools is going to be minimized, and you can also then do reporting with Excel. Length of the TDL SQL codes required to make the reports we're going to minimize, and the reporting data size would be reduced. And the data refresh times for the reports would be minimized because data would be small, so data would come out very very fast. सबसे बड़ी बात यह है कि यूसेज ऑफ डॉलर कलेक्शन फील्ड का जो है हम मिनिमाइज करते हैं विद दिस थिंग. सर्विस रिक्वेस्ट टाइम्स आर गोइंग टू बी मिनिमाइज बिकॉज वी विल ट्राई एंड टर्न अराउंड द रिपोर्ट्स वेरी वेरी क्विकली. एंड एनी डेटा एक्सट्रैक्शन एरर्स यूजिंग ओडीबीसी, क्योंकि ओडीबीसी में प्रॉब्लम आती है तो हम उसको एलिमिनेट कर देते हैं. एक्यूरेसी ऑफ रिपोर्टिंग हम लोग पार्टिशनिंग ऑफ कंपनी, सो दिस आई विल कम टू इट इमीडिएटली. एंड ईज ऑफ एक्सेस, व्हाट हैपेंस इज everyone tries to use MS Excel for reporting, but for MS Excel I do not need to basically retrain the people. So if you can give the reports in MS Excel securely across large number of end users, then you're basically through. तो हम क्या करते हैं, पूरा का पूरा Tally schema database में SQL Server में ले आते हैं, and once that is done, then MS Excel and SQL Server are brother and sisters, right? So the integration is very very easy. Then convenience, you can also work with a large number of BI tools. So this code has been converted into various by other technologies. Unlimited number of companies जो हैं, ये loop call object इसलिए ज़रूरी है because splitting of the company and multiple companies का data मुझे extract करना होता है, तो वो मैं आपको बताता हूँ कैसे. Right. And maximum ease of usage. So basically we are looking to make it easy. We are looking to make it easy by using Excel. and then security, row level security through the database, right? तो ये basically हो जाता है. What are we offering is lower coding time, faster data access, easy to use desktop and server applications and automated spreadsheets. तो हम लोग some product का जो है बहुत वो करते हैं. And what are we offering new is a ledger and item hierarchy flattening, जो कि मैं आपको बताऊंगा. रियल टाइम एक्सेस फॉर ट्रांजैक्शन, स्प्लिटिंग ऑफ कंपनीज, डेटा करेक्शन. तो मैं सबसे पहले जो है मैं स्प्लिटिंग ऑफ कंपनीज डेटा करेक्शन पे जाता हूँ. सो व्हाट आई विल डू इज आई विल एक्सप्लेन यू हाउ दिस थिंग कम्स. सो सपोज आई सेलेक्ट दिस पर्टिकुलर कंपनी विच इज सैम्पल 2, विच इज माई ओरिजिनल कंपनी. बॉस 1 जनवरी 2019 से लेकर के आज तक का इसका डेटा है. एंड आई गो एंड सी द डिस्प्ले ऑफ दिस कंपनी, and I look at statement of accounts, I look at the outstandings, and I look at the receivables. If I look at bill number 1, I'm getting the complete bill history. Am I correct? Yes or no? Okay. But then what happens, my tally data becomes very large and I split the company. तो अब मैंने उसको split किया. I suppose split it from January 1st, 2021. Now I go down to display and I look at statement of accounts and I look at outstandings and receivables. If I look at this one, then what is happening? I'm now getting incomplete information because now I'm getting an opening balance here. Correct? So basically क्या है कि when you go for collections, it's going to be a problem. तो हमारा लॉजिक क्या है कि इम्प्रूवमेंट जो हम लोगों ने किया है कि अगर आपकी स्प्लिट ऑफ द कंपनी भी हो तब भी यू शुड गेट द कंप्लीट सेट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. सो 8371 हियर is getting the complete set of bill details. That is enabled by the data warehouse. Right? उसी तरीके से you can load unlimited number of companies, 4, 5. That is why loop call object is very, because I need to be able to handle split companies and multiple companies at the same time. Any questions up till now? Okay. So this covers up this particular slide. Now the dynamic hierarchies in Tally, sir, are to be understood in this particular way. जो कि मैं इसमें आपको what I'll be doing is I'll explain it in this particular way. See, what happens is Tally is the software which is based on hierarchical database. So the ledger hierarchy can be very dynamic. So here you see, for example, we have taken some sample data and my current liabilities can be at level 1 or level 2 because my primary is shifting. It can be at level 2, level 3, level 1, level 4 anyway. Now if I look at this very, very carefully, this data is not very pivot friendly format, because if I'm asking you, okay fine, what is current liabilities? Is it level 1, level 2, level 3? I do not know. And there's a floating hierarchy. What we have done is by SQL coding, we have fixed this hierarchy. So we have fixed the ledger hierarchy at primary. The second level is current liabilities, current assets and so forth. Third is duties and taxes. Now the difference that comes out is like this. So for example, if I go down to my accounts info, and I look at my groups, माफ करिएगा, and I group का मैंने क्या किया, मैंने display किया. Now you see these are your primary groups, right, which is there in Tally. Everyone would have seen it like this. Now if I look at bank accounts, then if I press on bank accounts, it is part of the current assets, right? But if I look at current assets, it is the same hierarchy, it's under the primary. So basically what, father, son, grandchild, all are in a single row. Am I correct? Yes or no? What we have done is, in the product, what we have done is we have broken it into multiple portions. Grandfather, father, and the child are all in separate columns now, with the grandfather's position being fixed in a single chair. Is it correct? So this fixed hierarchy makes it very pivot friendly. So आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, once you extract the data from this thing, you can map it. Like sales accounts, you'll always get in ledger level 2. Duties and taxes you'll get at ledger level 3 and so forth. Any questions?
No, sir.
Then faster access data through Excel. So basically in Tally, SQL and DAX, the reportings are very, very complex. We get the raw schema from Tally onto Excel and we ask the person to know only 2 functions, sum product and pivot. Sum product is going to replace, because sum product works on the array concept. So it is going to replace VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, SUMIF, SUMIFS, everything. So sum product is a very neat feature which is being offered by Excel, and pivot. This basically helps, in most of the cases. So we use the Control T tab within Excel. So Excel is a C. It's a very, very powerful tool. So once you ensure security, it is very, very powerful. Right. So if you know some product, most of your work would be done. Now I come down to the added row level security, which is say a weakness of Excel. So what I will do here is, we have made a separate database here. ये मैंने रो लेवल सिक्योरिटी लिया और मैंने कहा सेलेक्ट स्टार फ्रॉम ओडीएस अंडरस्कोर लेजर डिटेल्स टैली. सो एक्चुअली में क्या है कि इफ आई एक्सट्रैक्ट दिस, तो मैंने क्या किया, यहाँ पे रो लेवल सिक्योरिटी कॉन्फ़िगर की है बेस्ड ऑन द यूजर्स. सो इफ आई डू नॉट पुट अ यूजर, देन दिस शुड कम ब्लैंक. बट इफ आई पुट इन द यूजर, then I should be able to get the data. Because if I can do this, then I can call this SQL across multiple sheets within Excel and then secure all my spreadsheets. So I can have a large spreadsheet implementation across multiple end users, and everyone can work from his or her from securely from this thing. So this particular feature is actually used by many of our companies to reduce their BI tool costs. Otherwise, they have to pay for each individual user. Any questions? मैं आपको सर इसमें दिखाऊंगा कैश फ्लो, बैलेंस शीट एंड प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस. ये आपको सैंपल एक्सेल में आ गई है. इस फाइल्स को जरा एक बार हम लोग अच्छे तरीके से देख लेते हैं, बिकॉज दिस इज द टेस्टिंग फाइल इज गोइंग टू बी देयर. सो ये जो है सबसे पहला जो है आपको ये देखना पड़ेगा बैलेंस शीट. सो दिस इज लोन्स एंड लायबिलिटीज. दिस इज कमिंग फ्रॉम द प्राइमरी ग्रुप, राइट, कि प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस, लोन्स एंड लायबिलिटीज, इसमें बैलेंस शीट में क्या क्या होता है. ये डिस्क्रिप्शन है, लेजर नेम है, लेजर प्राइमरी है. एक सेकेंड सर, एक सेकेंड. ये रहा, ये करंट एसेट, कैपिटल अकाउंट, लायबिलिटीज, फिक्स्ड एसेट्स, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, एंड देन यू कम डाउन टू द लेजर. और इसमें आपको लेजर फ्लैटनिंग जो है पूरी की पूरी मिलेगी, राइट. दिस इज वन ऑफ आवर मोस्ट पॉपुलर. देन सिमिलरली कैश फ्लो का हमने रिप्लिकेट किया इनवर्ड एंड आउटवर्ड. सेम लेवल हायरार्की फ्लैटनिंग, प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस हायरार्की फ्लैटनिंग, and same is the bill details. Because I have been informed that this particular client wants to do only ledger analysis, so we have prepared accordingly, correct. And here if you see, there's ledger movement, and then the ledger flattening sample sheet is here, and then there's an automation sample which I will be discussing in further. Now this is going with the data warehouse. तो सर इसमें डेटा जाता भी और टैली के डेटा अंडर डेटा वेयरहाउस से अंदर आता भी है. So what we are doing is, we are seeking to now automate the data entry process also using our product in a way that we can do complete data auditing as well as provide complete security for it. So if the data goes from here to staging, there's business logic between, there's a normalization over which there are reports, and there's going to be an incremental. So once the initial load is done, then the incremental data load is done from the voucher extract. The last 15 days, you can choose, say, last 10 days, 15 days for real-time data extract. These are the sample companies on Google. So there are a large number. Now there are more than 40 to 50 companies who are implementing it. A lot of CTOs and CIOs, CFOs are primarily taking their accounting analysts with them. So a CFO needs an accounting analyst to help him manage his complete data. So we are, this thing is there. So what is the method of working? Extraction of the raw tally data, insertion into staging area, historical data load, coding of tally business logic here. Now the thing here is that we are extracting the data from the raw tally schema. So this product will work across all the versions of tally, ERP9, tally prime, anything. So for example, if you have got tally prime, you go here, right, you go here and you go to F1 help, you go to TDLs and add-ons, you go to manage local TDLs and load the TCP. जब आप ये load the TCP कर लोगे and you come to this thing, and which I'll give you that, I can also give you the TCP, you get this button extract companies. This will be an automated extractor. Then I come down to here, within tally ERP9, you go to product and features, you manage local TDL, और यहाँ पे आपने load किया, आपका extract the companies. You can load as many number of companies as you want, and simply press this button extract companies here. जब आप extract companies के button को press करोगे, then you go down to C:sample company or any folder which you want, which you designate. तो मैं suppose C:, तो आपका tally का data यहाँ पे JSON format में आ गया. ये raw tally का data है. This format can be used for your API integration. This format can be used for your database insert, जो मैं आपको दिखाऊंगा, and this format can also be used. तो ये straight plugin होता है. और ये एक ही लेवल का हायरार्की, इसमें रिपोर्ट सब रिपोर्ट नहीं है. सो इट द एक्सट्रैक्शन एंड इंसर्शन इज वेरी वेरी फास्ट. इज दैट क्लियर?
यस सर.
ठीक है. एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस? on this?
No, sir.
Then what
No.
happens is, तो जब ये आ गया, फिर मैंने क्या किया, फिर मैंने सीक्वल में उसको स्टेजिंग एरिया में इंसर्ट किया. तो ये मैंने आपको ये दिखाया, स्टेजिंग एरिया में इंसर्ट किया. एक सेकेंड, ये मेरा ओके. हाँ, वन मोर थिंग इज देयर. अगर आपकी कोई कस्टमाइजेशन है तो क्लाइंट कैन गिव अस द डे बुक कॉपी एंड वी कैन यूज द कलेक्शन फील्ड्स टू extract the data from Tally. Okay. Then I need to insert it into the staging area. So this is actually, we have used the open JSON function and open rowset functions within Tally to do the insertion. तो इसको हम फटाफट कॉन्फ़िगर कर लेते हैं. And this is loading it onto the data warehouse. And in the data warehouse, we extensively use merge, or we replace the transforms for masters as well as for the transactions. And here then we code the business logic of Tally into the database. तो आपको database में हम पूरा का पूरा करेंगे. We have basically done, what we have done is we have reverse engineered, say, the Tally functions onto the database. So for example, is this sales account, is this voucher type name, यहाँ पे हमने reverse engineer किया. So what we have done is we have understood how the Tally reports are made and we have reverse engineered them. Then we secure the database here. हम लोग एक masters का secure करते हैं इधर. And then we set the refresh frequency in Excel. And then we set up the database parameters within Excel for querying the database to get the Excel. So Excel में we don't go straight with extraction using Power Pivot. We set up database parameters, then it queries the database and gives the real-time data within Excel. Right. And that is it. So there are a lot of this thing. With this, I come down close to the extraction module of our reports. Now I'm open to the question.